In the year 2387, humanity had achieved what once seemed impossible. From a single blue planet orbiting an average star, we had ascended to the stars, forging alliances and making our mark on the galactic stage. The Galactic Council, a coalition of advanced species that governed interstellar relations, had extended an invitation to humanity after years of deliberation. It was a monumental achievement, a symbol of trust, cooperation, and unity. The Council's invitation came with promises of technology, shared knowledge, and peace. In return, humanity pledged to uphold the Council's tenets, contribute to interstellar prosperity, and adhere to the principles of non-aggression. The cost seemed minor compared to the benefits, and Earth eagerly accepted. For decades, the arrangement flourished. Humanity prospered, leveraging alien technologies to transform Earth and its colonies into vibrant centers of trade and culture. Our representatives took their seats in the grand chambers of the Council, voices in a chorus of civilizations spanning the galaxy. But the galaxy's harmony was not as perfect as it appeared. The Rimward Systems, humanity's outermost colonies, were vital to our expansion efforts. These rugged, resource-rich planets were a testament to humanity's resilience, carving life from barren worlds. But their location on the edges of Council space made them vulnerable. Pirates and rogue factions were a constant threat, and the Council mandated that only Peacekeepers, an elite, multi-species force, could defend the colonies. Human forces were forbidden to intervene, a restriction we accepted in good faith. Then the disappearances began. At first, it was a trickle, an outpost failing to send its weekly reports, a colony losing contact after a supposed ion storm. The Council dismissed the concerns, offering placating reassurances. The galaxy is vast and unpredictable, they said. Trust the Peacekeepers to investigate. And we did for a time. But the disappearances became more frequent, the excuses thinner. Survivors from a remote mining colony managed to send a fragmentary distress signal before their transmission cut out. Their final words chilled us: Council ships. Peacekeepers. They're not here to help. The rest was static. Earth demanded answers. Our ambassadors called for transparency, for the right to investigate the Rimward systems ourselves. The Council's response was swift and dismissive. Humanity was overreacting, allowing paranoia to cloud judgment. They refused to permit human fleets to patrol the region, citing the need to prevent militarization of the outer colonies. Instead, they doubled the Peacekeeper presence, promising to restore order. We trusted them. Months passed, and the situation only worsened. Entire colonies vanished overnight, their surfaces scorched, their populations unaccounted for. Then came the breaking point. New Horizon, a thriving agricultural colony, sent an urgent SOS. The message was clear. Peacekeeper ships had arrived, but instead of assistance, they unleashed destruction. Witnesses described colonists being rounded up and loaded onto alien transports. By the time a hastily assembled human fleet arrived, New Horizon was a graveyard. The colony's cities were ash, its fields lifeless craters. Among the ruins, they found evidence that confirmed our darkest fears. The Council had betrayed us. Peacekeepers had been complicit in abducting human colonists, their ships marked with Council insignias. Worse, intercepted communications revealed the motive. Human lives were being traded to an enigmatic alien empire outside the Council's borders. In exchange, the Council secured rare resources and strategic alliances, all while keeping humanity in the dark. Earth erupted in outrage. Trust turned to fury as humanity withdrew from the Council, severing all diplomatic ties. The Council responded with sanctions, blockades, and propaganda, branding humanity as reckless insurgents. But they underestimated us. United by betrayal and survival, humanity turned its focus inward, harnessing its ingenuity to prepare for war. Scientists and engineers worked around the clock to reverse engineer alien technology. We built ships faster and more advanced than anything we'd known, armed with weapons capable of challenging even the mightiest Council fleets. The Rimward Systems, once a symbol of vulnerability, became the heart of our resistance. The turning point came at the Battle of Epsilon Vega, where the Council deployed a massive fleet to crush our defiance. They expected submission. Instead, they met a force transformed by anger and determination. Human ships, nimble and bristling with firepower, outmaneuvered their lumbering counterparts. Our tactics, innovative, unpredictable, shattered their formations. By the battle's end, the Council's fleet was in tatters, limping away in disgrace. The victory sent a clear message: humanity would not bow to treachery. We reclaimed the Rimward systems, fortifying them against further incursions. Colonies once on the brink of extinction flourished anew, their people hardened by adversity and united by purpose. In the aftermath, the Council approached us with veiled overtures of reconciliation. They spoke of misunderstandings and mutual benefit, but we knew better. The trust they had shattered could never be rebuilt. Humanity had learned a harsh but vital lesson. In a galaxy of shifting alliances and hidden agendas, we could rely only on ourselves. We once believed the Galactic Council was a beacon of peace and unity. But beneath its gilded exterior lay rot and corruption. Their betrayal forged us into something stronger, something they could never control. Now, we carve our own path among the stars, unshackled and unafraid. For we are no longer naive. We are no longer pawns. We are humanity, and we will never trust the Council again. As the years passed, the scars of the Council's betrayal became stories that every human child knew by heart. Entire generations grew up in the shadow of New Horizons' ashes, hardened by the tales of treachery and survival. The betrayal was not merely a political incident. It was a defining moment for humanity, shaping every facet of our civilization. The betrayal had galvanized our efforts, but the lessons learned during those tumultuous times transcended warfare. Exploration, once a joint venture with the Council, became a purely human endeavor. We sent fleets of advanced ships to chart unclaimed systems, guided by the belief that the galaxy still held wonders untouched by corruption. Every discovery was a victory, every new colony a statement of defiance. But humanity's rise was not without challenges. The Council, humiliated by the loss at Epsilon Vega, launched a campaign to isolate us from the galactic community. They spread propaganda, painting humanity as aggressive and dangerous. Trade routes were cut off, and many alien species turned their backs on us, unwilling to risk the Council's ire. What the Council failed to realize was that adversity was humanity's forge. The isolation spurred innovation. Cut off from trade, we became self-sufficient. Denied resources, we learned to synthesize our own. Alien technologies that once seemed beyond our grasp were not only understood but improved upon. We created faster engines, smarter AI, and weapons that could challenge any fleet the galaxy could muster. Amidst this technological renaissance, humanity also found new allies, species on the fringes of the galaxy, those who had suffered under the Council's heavy hand. They saw in humanity a kindred spirit, a force willing to stand up against oppression. These alliances were fragile at first, built on mutual distrust and necessity. But over time, they grew into bonds of respect and solidarity. Together, we formed a coalition of outcasts, a counterbalance to the Council's dominance. The Council, sensing the threat, escalated their aggression. Skirmishes erupted along the borders of human space, each encounter a test of wills. Council fleets tried to intimidate us, deploying overwhelming numbers in shows of force. But they found themselves outmaneuvered at every turn. Humanity had learned not just to fight, but to fight smart. Our ships were faster, our tactics more adaptive, our resolve unbreakable. One such skirmish, known later as the standoff at Lysara, became a legend. A council fleet of 50 warships cornered a human patrol of just 8 vessels near a nebula rich with vital resources. Outnumbered and outgunned, the human captain, Naomi Voss, used the nebula's volatile gases to her advantage, luring the council ships into a trap. With precise strikes, her fleet ignited the gases, creating a chain reaction that crippled the enemy without a single human loss. The victory cemented humanity's reputation as a force not to be trifled with. But humanity's rise was not fueled by vengeance alone. We were determined to build a future that reflected our ideals: freedom, resilience, and unity. The Rimward systems, once symbols of vulnerability, became shining examples of what humanity could achieve. Cities rose from the ashes of destroyed colonies, blending human ingenuity with the best aspects of alien design. Education and science flourished, driven by a collective hunger to understand the galaxy and our place within it. Culturally, humanity embraced its new identity as both survivors and pioneers. The betrayal was remembered not as a mark of shame, but as a turning point, a moment when we discovered our true strength. Artists, writers, and musicians immortalized the events in works that inspired pride and solidarity. The phrase, "never again," became a rallying cry, etched into monuments and whispered in moments of doubt. As humanity thrived, whispers of dissent began to emerge within the Council itself. Some member species, disillusioned by the Council's corruption, began to question their allegiance. Delegates who once voted against humanity now spoke of the Council's failures and the need for reform. Humanity's defiance had exposed the cracks in the Council's façade, and those cracks were widening. The final confrontation came decades later, when the Council, desperate to reassert control, launched a massive invasion of the Rimward systems. They believed their superior numbers and technology would overwhelm us. But humanity was ready. The combined might of human and allied fleets met the Council at the Battle of Helios Prime, a confrontation so vast that the stars themselves seemed to burn brighter with the energy unleashed. The battle was a testament to what humanity had become. Outnumbered but never outmatched, we fought with precision and purpose. Our allies, inspired by our resolve, fought alongside us with equal ferocity. The Council's fleet, bloated and overconfident, was dismantled piece by piece. By the battle's end, their flagship was surrounded, its admiral forced to surrender. The victory at Helios Prime marked the end of the Council's dominion. In the aftermath, humanity extended an olive branch, not to the Council itself, but to the galaxy. We called for a new coalition, one built on equality and mutual respect, not coercion and deceit. Many species, weary of the Council's corruption, joined us. Humanity's betrayal by the Galactic Council had been a crucible, a trial by fire that reshaped us into something greater. We had learned to trust ourselves, to value our independence, and to fight for our place among the stars. And though the Council's betrayal would never be forgotten, it became the foundation upon which we built a new future, a future of hope, strength, and unyielding determination. As humanity solidified its dominance in the Rimward systems, the galaxy began to shift. The Galactic Council, once the unchallenged authority of the cosmos, found itself fractured and vulnerable. Rumors of dissent and defection spread like wildfire among its member species. The once mighty coalition had become a shadow of its former self, and humanity's rise was a beacon of hope for those who had suffered under the Council's oppressive policies. In the years following the Battle of Helios Prime, humanity didn't just rebuild, it reimagined. The scars of betrayal became a blueprint for resilience. The colonies in the Rimward systems were no longer isolated outposts but thriving hubs of innovation and cooperation. They became laboratories for a new kind of civilization, one where technology and human ingenuity blended seamlessly with the wisdom of alien allies. One of the first steps in humanity's new era was the creation of the Alliance of Free Systems, a coalition of species that rejected the Council's corruption and sought a more equitable future. The alliance wasn't just a military pact, it was a cultural and economic union, built on the principles of transparency, mutual aid, and shared governance. Humanity, the architects of the alliance, made sure that every voice was heard, every species represented, no matter how small or weak they seemed. It was a direct rebuke to the Council's elitism. The alliance's formation wasn't without challenges. Not all species were ready to trust humanity, even after the Council's betrayal was exposed. Some feared that humanity would simply replace the Council as a new galactic overlord. To counter this perception, Earth's leaders made a bold move. They ceded their unilateral control of the Alliance and invited a rotating leadership council composed of representatives from all member species. Humanity's willingness to share power won over many skeptics, and the Alliance grew rapidly. Meanwhile, the Council desperately tried to regroup. Its remaining member species clung to the remnants of their power, retreating to their core territories and enforcing draconian policies to maintain control. But the galaxy had changed. No longer willing to endure exploitation, more species rebelled, inspired by humanity's defiance. Rebellions erupted in Council-controlled sectors, and their military was stretched thin trying to quell the uprisings. Amidst this chaos, humanity continued to push the boundaries of what was possible. The Rimward systems became the center of the greatest technological renaissance in galactic history. Advances in energy production, artificial intelligence, and interstellar travel emerged at an unprecedented rate. Humanity's engineers developed the quantum slip drive, a revolutionary propulsion system that allowed ships to travel between star systems in a fraction of the time previously possible. This breakthrough didn't just strengthen humanity, it united the Alliance. Faster travel meant closer ties, stronger trade, and the ability to respond quickly to threats. One of humanity's most significant projects during this time was the Stellar Forge, a colossal space station built in the heart of the Rimward systems. It was more than a military stronghold. It was a symbol of the Alliance's unity and humanity's ingenuity. The forge served as a research hub, a diplomatic center, and a refuge for those fleeing the Council's oppression. Its towering spires and radiant energy fields became a beacon of hope visible for light years. But even as humanity and the Alliance thrived, the Council refused to surrender. In a desperate move, they turned to the enigmatic species they had once brokered deals with, the same entities they had betrayed humanity to. Known only as the Ketheri, these aliens were an ancient and mysterious force on the fringes of known space. The Council promised the Ketheri vast swaths of territory in exchange for their aid in crushing the Alliance. The Ketheri were unlike any species humanity had encountered. Their ships were biomechanical, living organisms fused with advanced technology. Their soldiers were relentless, seemingly impervious to fear or pain. When the Council unleashed the Ketheri on the Alliance, it was as if a nightmare had come to life. The first wave of Ketheri attacks was devastating. Entire star systems were consumed, their planets stripped of life. The Alliance, caught off guard by the ferocity of the assault, struggled to mount a defense. But humanity, tempered by years of betrayal and war, was not so easily defeated. Using intelligence gathered during the Council's initial betrayal, Earth scientists had studied the Ketheri from afar, preparing for the day they might face them directly. The Alliance rallied under humanity's leadership, deploying fleets armed with weapons designed to disrupt the Ketheri's biomechanical systems. Battles raged across the galaxy, each one a brutal test of endurance and ingenuity. The Ketheri were a formidable enemy, but they were not invincible. Humanity's strength lay not just in its technology but in its adaptability, a trait the Ketheri, bound by their rigid biology, could not match. The final showdown came in the Sirius Expanse, a vast region of space filled with volatile nebulas and ancient star remnants. The Alliance lured the Ketheri and their Council allies into a trap, using the unstable environment to their advantage. In a battle that lasted weeks, the Alliance shattered the Ketheri fleet and forced the Council into retreat. The victory came at a great cost, but it marked the end of the Council's power and the beginning of a new era. With the Council defeated and the Ketheri driven back to the void, humanity and the Alliance emerged as the dominant force in the galaxy. But this time, dominance did not mean oppression. Guided by the lessons of the past, the Alliance worked tirelessly to ensure that power was distributed fairly, that every species had a voice, and that the mistakes of the Council would never be repeated. Humanity's journey from betrayal to triumph became the foundation of a new galactic order. The story of how Earth rose from the ashes of treachery to lead a fractured galaxy into unity was told across the stars, not as a tale of vengeance, but as a testament to resilience, cooperation, and hope. The galaxy would never forget the betrayal of the Galactic Council, but it would remember humanity's response, not just as warriors, but as builders of a better future. As the Alliance of Free Systems flourished, humanity's influence extended beyond its original borders, not as conquerors, but as a civilization that inspired others to dream of independence and equality. The aftermath of the Council's betrayal had transformed humanity into a symbol of defiance against oppression and a beacon of hope for those who had suffered in silence under the Council's reign. Yet the road ahead was far from smooth. With the Council's grip shattered, a power vacuum emerged, and chaos threatened to consume the galaxy. Old rivalries resurfaced among independent species, new threats lurked in uncharted territories, and the remnants of the Council retreated to the core systems, plotting their resurgence. For humanity and its allies, the end of the Council's dominance was only the beginning of a new era of challenges. The Galactic Reclamation. The first major task was stabilizing the galaxy. Humanity took the lead in organizing relief missions to devastated systems, offering resources and expertise to rebuild shattered worlds. The Rimward Systems, once the frontier of human vulnerability, became the heart of this effort. From its bustling shipyards and research stations came fleets of supply vessels and terraforming equipment, transforming dead worlds into havens for displaced populations. The Stellar Forge served as the Alliance's nerve center, coordinating efforts across thousands of light years. It became a hub of diplomacy, where former Council species, now freed from its grip, convened to negotiate their place in the new order. Humanity insisted on fairness and cooperation, ensuring that no single species dominated. These efforts built trust and cemented humanity's role as not just a survivor but a leader. But rebuilding wasn't enough. The galaxy's wounds ran deep, and old grudges threatened to ignite new conflicts. To prevent this, the Alliance established the Accord of Sovereign Systems, a framework for interstellar governance that emphasized mutual defense, free trade, and the protection of individual species' autonomy. The Accord was revolutionary in its inclusivity, and though some species resisted, most saw it as a chance to build something better than the Council's autocratic rule. The Council's revenge. In the shadows, the remnants of the Council regrouped, their pride wounded but their ambitions undiminished. They retreated to their core worlds, fortifying themselves behind massive defense grids and allying with rogue factions that thrived in the chaos. Their goal was clear: to undermine the alliance and reclaim their lost dominion. Using propaganda and covert operations, the Council sought to sow discord within the alliance. Saboteurs infiltrated key installations, while shadowy agents spread rumors of humanity's supposed plans for galactic conquest. These efforts tested the alliance's unity, but humanity's transparency and commitment to shared governance countered the Council's lies. The Council's most audacious move came in the form of a secret weapon: stellar devourers, planet-sized constructs capable of draining stars of their energy, rendering entire systems lifeless. The Council unleashed one such weapon in the Thalassa system, destroying an alliance colony and plunging the region into darkness. The devastation was a grim reminder of the Council's ruthlessness. Humanity responded swiftly. The Alliance's brightest minds, led by human scientists, devised countermeasures to disable the stellar devourers. These efforts culminated in the Battle of the Dying Star, where a joint Alliance fleet ambushed the Council's flagship and its devourer near a collapsing star. The battle was a harrowing affair, with Alliance forces risking everything to neutralize the weapon before it could escape. In the end, the devourer was destroyed, and the Council's fleet suffered a catastrophic defeat. The victory at the Dying Star marked the beginning of the end for the Council. With their forces depleted and their allies abandoning them, the Council's core worlds fell one by one to the Alliance. Humanity insisted on justice, not vengeance, ensuring that captured Council leaders faced fair trials for their crimes. Humanity's legacy. With the Council defeated, the galaxy entered an unprecedented era of cooperation and exploration. The Alliance of Free Systems expanded its reach, embracing species that had once been too fearful to rebel against the Council. New alliances formed not out of necessity, but out of genuine trust and shared purpose. Humanity, ever curious and ambitious, led the charge into the unknown. The uncharted regions of the galaxy beckoned, and the Alliance launched expeditions to explore the void beyond known space. These missions uncovered ancient civilizations, forgotten technologies, and mysteries that defied understanding. Humanity's adaptability and resilience made it the vanguard of these efforts, earning admiration even from species that had once doubted their place in the stars. But humanity's greatest achievement wasn't technological or military. It was philosophical. The betrayal by the Council had taught humanity and its allies the dangers of unchecked power and blind trust. This lesson became the cornerstone of the Alliance's principles, ensuring that no single species, not even humanity, could dominate the galaxy. Humanity also worked to bridge the gap between former enemies. Efforts to reconcile with species that had served the Council bore fruit, fostering a sense of unity that the galaxy had never known. Art, culture, and shared traditions flourished, creating a tapestry of civilizations that celebrated their differences rather than fearing them. The eternal vigil. Though the galaxy entered a golden age, humanity never forgot the cost of its freedom. The betrayal of the Galactic Council became a cautionary tale, passed down through generations. Every child learned the story of New Horizon, the Battle of Epsilon Vega, and the resilience that had carried humanity through its darkest days. The Alliance maintained a vigilant watch, always prepared for new threats. Humanity led the charge in creating the Galactic Sentinel Network, a system of advanced sensors and automated defense platforms capable of detecting and responding to dangers from within and beyond the galaxy. The Ketheri, though defeated, remained a lingering threat on the galaxy's edge, and humanity ensured that the Alliance would be ready if they ever returned. In the end, humanity's greatest legacy wasn't its technology, its fleets, or its victories. It was the hope it gave to the galaxy. The lesson that even in the face of betrayal, unity and resilience could forge a brighter future. The stars, once a cold and hostile frontier, now shone with the light of countless civilizations united by humanity's example. And though the betrayal of the Galactic Council would always be remembered, it was humanity's triumph over that betrayal that defined the galaxy's destiny.